up, y'all? Welcome to another edition, man. Things and Stuff. TNT, episode 6. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about the NBA playoffs. We're going to be talking about the Lakers.
Cardi and Nicki Minaj's new music, A Quiet Place review.
Man, how did he feel about it? How did I feel about it? Only one way to find out, man. Check us out in 5, 4, 3. Oh, shit. We doing it, man. We told y'all we was coming right back. You see it. Same clothes as last episode, man. We gonna talk about the playoffs today, man. Lakers.
Music with Cardi B, Nicki Minaj.
And we seen A Quiet Place, man. We gonna review that for you. So check us out, man. We gonna get right into it. NBA playoffs.
Playoffs, you know, we got Houston versus Minnesota. We got Utah versus OKC. We got the Spurs versus the Warriors. Who's the other one in the Western Conference?
In the West, we got
the Trailblazers versus New Orleans Pelicans. We
right.
got the Raptors versus the Wizards. The Cavs versus the Pacers. The Heat versus the 76ers. And the Celtics versus Milwaukee.
Yeah, man.
A lot of good playoffs.
I think it's lined up nice. I thought the Nuggets were going to sneak in there.
You thought they were going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves last game?
I wasn't sure. Everything was so close. To be honest, coming towards the end of the season, I thought there was a good chance that the Spurs were going to slip out of the playoffs. But I'm glad to see them in there, man. I don't really hate on the Spurs, even though, you know, it's been so long since the Lakers have really battled them that I can't really hate on the Spurs at this point.
They used to go at it back in the day.
Right. But, yeah, man, this is exciting playoffs for me. 2018 NBA playoffs. Ultimately, we know it's going to come down to the Warriors or Houston.
Yeah.
I mean, I really feel like this is the year, much like the old school Kobe Shaq Lakers, where you knew the West was the championship.
Right.
Like, it's all right. Lakers and Sacramento, Lakers and the Spurs. Whoever wins that is winning the championship. I feel like that's the same. Rockets ultimately will face Golden State, but up until then, we got some good basketball to look forward to, man.
So, who's your most surprised? Like, what playoff series is most surprising to you? Like, you don't know what's going to happen.
The sleeper, the one that's hardest to pick. I think Oklahoma and Utah is going to be the series to really watch, man. The 4 or 5 matchups usually, that's kind of a cheat answer, but in this case specifically, I feel like the Oklahoma Thunder, that's a playoff team. Like, they had their struggles during the regular season, and I'm praying to God Paul George is ready to leave after the playoffs and come to the Lakers.
Yeah.
But this is a team, when you put this team together, man, you're trying to build them for the NBA playoffs, not the regular season. And I feel like they got a good shot at least making it out of the first round. Utah's no slouch, though, man. That defense.
Yeah, they moved the ball around. They got the Rookie of the Year. In my opinion, guys, you're not going to calm down. I know you guys might think it's Ben Simmons, but calm down. I got Donovan Mitchell. He's been doing his thing for Utah. Has like 4 40-point games this year, I believe. Don't quote me on that. That's what I believe. I forgot I got to check the stats, but he's been balling lights out for Utah. And you expect him at the beginning of the season. I didn't think he was going to be like, I thought he was going to have his ups and downs.
Right.
But he's been consistent the whole year.
Yes.
One of the most consistent rookies. So you got to put that in consideration. And I'm like most people that say, look, Ben was with the 76ers the year before. He didn't play no games, but he got that time to travel with the team, work out, you feel me? Get the NBA experience without playing a game.
I definitely agree with you with you on that. But I take it back to when Blake Griffin missed a year, he still came back. I thought it was unfair then. I think it's unfair now, but because that's the rules that they've set in motion, I can't then say, well, Ben Simmons, you can't be the Rookie of the Year. So if I had a vote, I would vote for Ben Simmons just because if I'm comparing who had the better year to me, I say the guy that finished the season on a 16-game winning streak pushes him over the top. But both of these guys, talented as hell. I think Ben Simmons is the next LeBron. And we'll see, man. I think that the Spurs and Golden State, first round, no Kawhi, no Steph. I think that's an interesting playoff matchup as well.
But I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors just turn it on and just... I mean, I feel like that's a good first round matchup for them. If they would have got OKC, I wouldn't be surprised if OKC knocked them out.
if I'm Golden State, this is probably as good as you could hope for.
Yeah.
Maybe the Pelicans would be a little bit more of a better matchup. I'm not quite sure. I'm saying without DeMarcus Cousins, maybe that might be an easier. But you're champions. You don't need easy.
Yeah,
you got Kevin Durant.
Right.
You got Clay, Draymond, that whole bench. I think that's going to be an exciting matchup. I wouldn't be shocked if the Spurs got swept, but it's Pop.
Yeah.
It's the Spurs. You never know what they're going to do. I don't think they win at all, but I think, they get a game, maybe 2.
I feel like they get 2 for sure. I feel like Pop is good enough for them to get at least 2. I feel like the Cavs need to watch out for the Pacers. I'm not saying the Pacers going to beat them, but
that's a sneaky first round matchup.
It's going to be tough.
Right. I
think
feel like
Po's been playing. He's the most improved player for me. Coming off that year with OKC, we thought he was going to do some things with Russell Westbrook. Had a kind of a down year. Came to the Pacers. That's a whole different ball player. And he's been playing lights out, averaging 23 points. The scoring low for the Pacers that have been doing his thing. So if I'm the Cavs, I'm not taking that test lightly.
Right. I think LeBron pretty much, if not the whole playoffs before the Eastern Conference Finals or the regular season finals, especially the first round of the playoffs, LeBron has come used to sweeping teams.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that's going to be the case at all this year. I think that the Pacers, with the team they got, they won the Paul George trade.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to really test Cleveland this year. I think Cleveland wins,
Yeah.
but I think it's just a prelude to them having a real tough time in the next round against what I predict to be the Raptors. I feel like the Raptors will outlast the Wizards. And
is John Wall back for that series?
John Wall is back. That team still isn't like the collective. Yeah. It's something clunky with that team. Maybe John Wall might be the trade chip during this summer.
Because when they had Bradley Beal,
St. Louis own Bradley Beal
doing his thing.
I mean, that's when the team looked the best this year. I don't know. You would hope that it could work with John Wall, but if it can't, I'm sure there's a lot of good things you can get for John Wall. Not to get too far ahead of ourselves, like I said, we'll see what they do with the Raptors. I feel like the Raptors get past them, and then the real question for me will be the Raptors and Cleveland, who makes it out of that matchup. So who I think will have a tough time in the next series, going up against who I predict to be in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Me too. They might even get
Philadelphia 76ers.
They might even get to the NBA Finals because this team's been playing lights out. Playing together,
They have a good shot at it, man. I mean, Boston would be my choice if they had Kyrie, especially if they had Gordon Hayward. But without those two guys,
I feel like Milwaukee's beating them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's my sleeper team. If Milwaukee makes it to the Eastern Conference Finals, I wouldn't be surprised. But we tell by this whole season, they should be better than what they are.
They should.
I don't understand what's wrong with them. When they got that Eric Bledsoe trade, I predicted they were going all the way to the finals. It's like that's putting them to the top. But you see how their season played off, barely making it to the playoffs. So we will see what happens with them in the next couple of years. But this year they should have did a lot better. All
right, official prediction: NBA Finals. Who's on the east side of things, who's on the west side of things, and who ultimately walks away with the championship?
I know a lot of people have been saying Houston for the Western to go to the NBA Finals, but I still got the Warriors. They're still battle tested. They still got a 7-footer, and they still got a guy that could go off for 70 points. And then they still got a guy that's not even playing yet that could still go up, the best 3-point shooter of all time. So even though Houston has the MVP, in my opinion, James Harden and Chris Paul, a good collective unit, they're not beating the Warriors, in my opinion. And then I think this is going to be the Raptors. I think DeMar and Kyrie Lowry are going to finally turn it on, and they're going to be the people that we see in the regular season in the playoffs. So those are my predictions. What about yourself?
If I was having to predict, same on the Houston Rockets and Golden State tip. I think Golden State is hard to pick against a team like that, man. I think that the Rockets are very good. I would not be shocked if they beat the Warriors. They have the #1 seed in the league this year for a reason. But we've seen D'Antoni teams in the past, 60-win teams, #1, get knocked out, man. Chris Paul's never made it out the second round.
James Harden.
We've seen him disappear in a lot of big moments. Granted, this year he has Chris Paul to lean on, but those guys aren't as tested as the championship team they're going against, and it's hard to bet against a team that has Steph, KD, Klay Thompson, Draymond, Iggy off the bench, even Swaggy P. He can light it up on any given night. So it's going to be a tough test. Ultimately, long answer short, I think that the Warriors come out of the West, and I think that they win the championship. Out of the East, it's very hard for me to pick between Toronto and Cleveland, who's going to make it out of that. But ultimately, I think Toronto versus the 76ers, and I think Toronto gets past them. So Toronto in the finals this year. Drake will celebrate like crazy. We'll hear some new songs.
And we'll lose to the Warriors, probably 4-1.
Right.
That's just realistic.
Right. Moving on, same vein, basketball. Lakers, man, how you feel about the season as a whole? I mean,
as a whole, we did with a lot of injuries, but I'm surprised by not surprised, but the young core, I think we did good. Drafted Magic and Pelinka did their job.
Great first year for them.
Kuzma, Josh Hart, Lonzo. I'm ready for the Lakers. Ingram, you feel me? I'm ready for the Lakers
Which one?
Brandon, we're going to talk about the Andre Eagle story in a minute, but the Lakers, I feel like next year they're going to take a big jump. If we get Paul George, I feel like he's becoming a free agent. Well, he is. I mean, he's joining the Lakers in the summer, I feel like. And I feel like next year, that's at least 7-6 seed in the West. I wouldn't be surprised. For sure, I think the Lakers are making the playoffs next year if we get Paul George. Even without Paul George, that's still a good team with the young core.
I seen Harrison Fagan from LakersNation.com. He does a podcast. Here's another free plug. Locked on Lakers podcast. I seen him tweet out that this is probably the last season for a while that the Lakers missed the playoffs. And I tend to agree with him, man. I think it's going to be tough. Even if we don't get Paul George, if we just are able to bring back Julius, I think that this team with our core, let's say we bring back Brooke on a 1-year deal, Isaiah on a 1 to 2 year deal. I think that's this same team that we had this year. We finished with 35 wins, and some of those games we gave away. We could have very easily finished this season with 40 wins. Yeah. And, injuries, all teams have injuries. It's hard to say what will really happen. But there's some games that I really feel like we gave away that we could have at least got to 39 to 40 wins. The beginning of the season, I predicted us to finish with 30 to 35. Ultimately, we finished with 35, and that's a good year for us. Like you touched on, all the youth, the Josh Harts of the world, Kuzma's, Ingram, Brandon, Lonzo. Yeah. I mean, it was a great year for the Lakers. Exciting basketball. Luke's system worked. Like, he really showed, like, this is my system. We had all kind of G League guys come through. Your Andre Ingrams, your Travis Wares, that worked in the system because that's the system. It's not just, these guys didn't just show, like, I know I want to give credit to them, but it's a reason why they were in the G League and not doing nothing. They come into a system where they can get some playing time and be properly showcased, and they fit right in. Yeah. So I think Luke gets a lot of credit for that. I think the front office gets a lot of credit for that. I think this team, if we bring back the same team next year, we're probably in the same spot as Denver is this year. We will be fighting for the 8th seed. If we get Paul George, like I feel we will, if we bring back Julius Randle, like I'm sure at this point is a priority.
Yeah, we are.
I feel like we're one of the top teams in the West. Maybe not the top 4, but I think we can battle out that 6, 7, 8 spot.
Maybe the 5th. You never know.
Yeah, I mean, natural progression. Julius Randle, if he plays the same way next year as he did the second half of this season, he will be an all-star. And it's just exciting to see what happens, man. I think that a big priority this summer is going to be figuring out how do we keep Julius regardless of what happens. Because if LeBron and Paul George comes, it's going to be hard to keep Julius, but it's possible.
Right.
We're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with Luol Deng. But as a whole, I give the season a B+. Like I said, I predicted 30 to 35 wins. We finished with exactly 35. I feel like nothing but positive progression. There's things that they have to work on, of course. Lonzo's shot, Kuzma's defense, a lot of things, but natural progression. Everybody work hard, get better, bring in a couple guys, a couple more shooters. This is a playoff team to me.
Playoff team. You know, I give it the same grade at B+. Man, it was fun to see the young guys do their thing. You see them, the pains they go through the season, but the stuff they did good. Lonzo's defense, Kuzma scored, Josh Hart coming on with the 3-point shot later in the season. Brandon Ingram's playmaking ability coming up. You know, it's a lot of stuff that I saw the young core do. And I can't wait for next season. Next season, I'm excited. And I can't wait. Hope these 3 months go by fast. And it's back to Laker basketball again, baby.
Right. We were going to get a little bit into Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. Overall thoughts, man. I feel like Cardi B put out a good project. Nicki Minaj dropped 2 new singles. Cool. I don't know if those are the ones. But I'm going to move right on, man. We're running out of time, running short. Let's get into A Quiet Place, man. John Krasinski, Emily Blunt. He co-wrote, directed, and then starred alongside his wife, Emily Blunt. I saw this movie yesterday. I really enjoyed it. When did you see it?
I seen it yesterday.
Okay.
On Fire Stick. And I really hated this movie, guys. This is my problem with the movie. There was a scene in the beginning. I talked to him about it, about him, the little boy getting his toy back. The sister gave it to him. He put batteries in it. He dies. I thought that was a stub. Sorry. Listen, if you haven't seen the movie, I urge you not to see it and wait to go watch it on Fire Stick Redbox. It's not an in-theater movie to me, you know. I thought it was the plot twist.
I completely disagree. And obviously, if you look at the internet, he's in the minority. This movie's been praised for a reason, and it's because it's really breathtaking at points. John Krasinski does a great job directing his wife. Emily Blunt gives a really powerful performance. I feel like the kids did a great job acting. And especially, this movie, to me, is a theater-going experience because since there's so much quietness in it, it's really interesting to see how the theater then adjusts and starts getting quiet. Nobody wants to move their candy wrappers. Nobody wants to eat their popcorn too loud. Someone was moving their keys and you heard shh. Because niggas know if you make noise, these monsters, they're going to come, they're going to get you. And that was a really fun experience to be a part of, man. I think you might have cheated yourself by singing on Fire Stick.
I did myself justice seeing it on Fire Stick. I thought the plot was horrible. I feel like I seen that movie before where aliens come over, you know. They got the superpower and the humans are trying to figure out a way to get past the aliens. I feel like I've seen that before in like a Netflix movie called like The Spectrum or something. Or that horrible movie that came out in like 2012 where the aliens were like invisible.
I think you're missing something.
Nah,
you're missing the deeper plot points of the family. You're looking at the sci-fi elements and the horror elements, but if you look at the family elements of it, they tell a compelling story. I mean, what would you do in that situation is ultimately the story.
Well, I'm not looking at it for that. I'm looking at it for the sci-fi shit, the scary movie shit, and to me, that shit was like, to me, I rated the whole movie like a C-.
Yeah, like I said, man, minority opinion.
Wasn't good to me. I urge you guys not to see it.
I would definitely recommend this movie. I say, check it out. I know Avengers is coming up, so it's gonna be hard. But before Avengers, maybe do a double feature with this and Rampage, which is coming out soon with The Rock. I think this is a good movie-going experience, man. He didn't like it. I did. Check it out for yourself, man.
And comment on when you see it. Comment, tell us who was right because to me that movie was complete trash. Yeah. Maybe I need to go see it in theaters. Maybe the drive-in smoking a blunt or something. But that movie was completely trash to me. And I urge you guys just to wait for Redbox and Fire. Just watch it on Fire Stick if I was you.
Yeah, man. Let's go wrap this episode up. Things and stuff. TNT, G5 the Legend, man. Follow me. Get at me. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. Holla at me, man. We man of the people. We trying to hear what y'all think, what y'all doing. So comment, like, subscribe, share, tell your family, tell your friends. Get at us, man.
I mean, Steve Devon, follow me, Instagram. And that is it for this episode. So ladies and gentlemen, we're out.
Yeah, man. Check us out, man. Things and stuff. TNT. Wakanda forever. And we out of here, man.